Love or Death by Xtrole. Note, this is just a casual reading, and there may be reading errors that happen. Chapter 1. Bite. Knock knock. Who's there? Knock knock. Knock knock who? Knock knock knock. So your last name's Knock too? Yes indeed. I am Knock knock knock. Now let me in. Sorry, knock knock knock, but that ain't gonna happen. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. Yikes, I thought, it's that big bad wolf again. Out loud, I said, didn't anybody ever teach you to take no for an answer? And I know that you're the big bad wolf, and not knock knock knock. Isn't a big bad wolf allowed to have a nickname? I mean, geez, this isn't an either or, it's a both and I'm big bad wolf and knock knock knock. Okay, I'm glad that we cleared that part up, but what about the other question? What other question? And why should I answer questions that my future food asks anyway? The question was whether anybody ever taught you to take no for an answer, and I don't know why you'd answer questions that someone who you want to gobble up asks, but you've been answering some of them already. I suppose I have, haven't I? And don't think that I didn't notice that you switched future food to someone who I want to gobble up. This isn't just something that I want food. This is something that is 100% certain to happen. How about a bet then? If you manage to gobble me up within the next year, then I owe you $1,000,000. But if you don't manage to gobble me up within the next year, then you owe me $1,000,000. You're not going to be able to pay me $1,000,000 if you're gobbled up, you nitwit. That's a ridiculous bet, and you wouldn't even be able to pay me $1,000,000 if I didn't gobble you up. I mean, if you had $1,000,000, then I'd just let you give me that, and then I'd leave you alone and let you live. Oh, so now rich folks can buy their freedom, but poor folks get gobbled up? That's bigotry, knock knock knock. Why would I care if it is bigotry? I want $1,000,000 more than I want a meal. That's pretty simple, and so let's not try to make it complicated. Oh, and you still never answered my question about whether anyone ever taught you to take no for an answer. And so are you going to answer the question or keep on changing the subject? I didn't change the subject. I pointed out that you were switching words around. But sure, I'll bite. Ha 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 ha. Get it? I'll bite. Ha 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 ha. That's very punny, but you still didn't answer my question. Right. What question was that again? Whether anyone ever taught you to take no for an answer. Sure. My mama always told me that if I ever wanted to make little baby pups with a lovely wolf lady who I might meet, then I should ask her politely, and if she says no, then I just politely accept her answer and move on. But you aren't a lovely wolf lady. You're food. There's a big difference. I was taught to take no for an answer from a lovely wolf lady, but I wasn't taught to take no for an answer from food. Ha 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 ha. The food would just always say no. And so, has a lovely wolf lady ever agreed to make little pups with you? None of your business, Food. I'll take that as a no. What if I were to help you find the lovely wolf lady of your dreams so that you can have pups with her? Would you let me go then? I mean, that'd be priceless. Even $1,000,000 wouldn't be better than that. I guess that would be worth it. Okay, Food, if you can actually find me the lovely wolf lady of my dreams who will want to make pups with me, then I'll let you go. You got it, Big Bad Wolf. You know, I always knew that true love was important, but I never realized that it would end up literally saving my life. We shall see if true love saves your life or not, Food. You have 1 month to figure out who the lovely wolf lady of my dreams might be, and if you fail, then I'll still find true love someday, but you'll just be food. Ha 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 ha. Chapter 2. Legit. Huh, I thought. A month should be doable. I mean, I've always been good with human ladies, and so that'll probably mean that I'll be able to help Big Bad Wolf here out with the wolf ladies. And then out loud I said, 1 month it is, my friend, and then I opened up the door to my abode and said, come on in. Big Bad Wolf cheerfully padded into my abode and said, hey, this place ain't bad. And I said, and that is lesson number 1, my friend. The ladies want to know that you've got yourself nice and organized, which means that we might want to do some cleanup at your abode, depending on how messy it is. Humph, Big Bad Wolf said with a scowl. We'll see about that. And then I shrugged and said, you won't have to lift a finger because I'll do the cleaning for you. Well, Big Bad Wolf said with a shrug, I guess if you want to waste your time with that, then I won't stop you. That's the spirit, I said happily. It's also always important to be dressed to impress. I like to wear a nice jacket, a tie, cool shorts, and sunglasses, but for you, just sunglasses will probably suffice. I guess free sunglasses is fine with me, Big Bad Wolf said, and so I showed him over to my collection of sunglasses and said, you're welcome to any of these that you might want, buddy. I'm telling ya, a nice pair of sunglasses is very often the deciding factor in a lady saying yes or no. Ah, Big Bad Wolf said while examining the sunglasses. I kinda like this one. He was pointing to a pair of sunglasses that was actually intentionally designed to be strong enough so that vampires would be able to wear them even when their eyes were glowing red, so that nobody would notice the red glow and realize that a vampire was wearing the sunglasses. And I thought that this was funny because werewolves and vampires were often enemies, and though Big Bad Wolf wasn't, to my knowledge, a werewolf, he was still a wolf, which meant that he probably didn't like vampires. A fine a fine choice, I praised. Go ahead and try them on and look in the mirror. You'll be shocked by how cool you look. And so Big Bad Wolf put the sunglasses on and then went over to a mirror and began admiring himself. These are pretty legit, he said. "They'll win me a yes from a lovely wolf lady for sure." "They do suit you well," I praised, "and you are definitely gonna be a lot more tempting to those wolf ladies with them on. But the ladies also like smooth compliments too, and so we want to work on those. Do you have any lines that you usually use?" "Well," Big Bad Wolf said, "I once told a wolf lady that she looked so good that even my mama wouldn't be able to object to me dating her." "That's pretty good," I said, "and I'm gonna teach you a few more lines that'll be useful too." "Okay, so there's 'You're so hot that you make hell seem like an icicle,' and 'The spell that you're casting on me is so strong that I can't even remember my own name,' and 'I think that God must have been smoking the good stuff when they created you,' and 'To say that you're 1 in a million would be rubbish, 'cause you're 1 in a trillion,' and 'My favorite day of the week used to be Friday, but now it's today, because today is the day that I met you,' and 'I know these sunglasses might make it seem like I'm trying too hard, but I really do need them, because if I weren't wearing them, then I might be blinded by how beautiful you are,' and 'I know that I have a bit of a reputation of being a scoundrel, but what if I told you that I could be your scoundrel? And roses are red, violets are blue, and my big bad heart yearns only for you, and it's a pity that I spent so much of my life making plans to see the world, because if you were to tell me that you just want to stay in these woods forever, then I just want to stay in these woods forever too. And I used to have nightmares sometimes, but now that I've met you, I know that it's just gonna be sweet, sweet dreams from here on out. And, aha, I like the big bad heart one," Big Bad Wolf said happily. "You might be onto something with these lines." "Nice," I said. "The ladies love that one, my dude. Now we've got to get you some cologne too. And so over there is my collection of cologne," and I pointed towards various bottles of cologne that were nearby. "Go ahead and sniff some of them and see which one you like the most." And so Big Bad Wolf padded over to the cologne and spent a while sniffing all of them, and then he finally grabbed one and said, "This is the one," and I nodded approvingly and said, "I've had over a dozen different ladies agree to date me when I was wearing that cologne. It's a big winner, my friend." "Okay," Big Bad Wolf said, "and so now I've got the shades, the cologne, the line, and you're gonna clean up my den. Is there anything else we've got to get done?" "Oh yeah," I said, "the ladies love to be serenaded, and so I can play the instrument for you, but you've got to write the song lyrics, because the ladies can figure out when someone's faking from a mile away. This love song's gotta be all you, and so just see if you can figure out a good song to write, and you can just write it while I clean your den." "Sounds good," Big Bad Wolf said, and so we traveled to his den, and I began cleaning, and he began writing. After a while, he said, "Want to hear what I've got?" And I said, "I sure do," and so he began reading his lyrics. You are the sun, you shine so bright, and you're the full moon because you make me howl with delight. I could never love another if you were to say I do, and I'd never be sad again if I was always with you. I promise that I'll hunt enough grub to keep your belly full, and if we ever have little pups, then they'll have parents who are never dull. We would be the perfect couple, the best in the pack, and if one were to cause us trouble, then I'd rip them in half. And so, oh my darling, will you please be mine, for there's no paw I'd rather hold than thine. Chapter 3. Romance. You're natural, I exclaimed proudly. That's a song for the ages. It sure is, Big Bad Wolf said smugly, and then I finished cleaning up the den and said, okay, let's go find us a lovely wolf lady and see what happens. And so Big Bad Wolf put on the shades and sprayed some cologne into the air and walked into the air where the cologne was. I grabbed a banjo that he had in his den for some reason, and the two of us headed off to see if we could find his one true love. As we walked, I said, "Do you actually play the banjo?" And he smirked and said, "Ha, maybe someday I will, but not right now. Some dude who I gobbled up the other day owned that banjo, and since it wasn't doing him any good anymore, I figured I'd just take it back to the den with me, since it seemed to be the most valuable thing that he owned." I gulped nervously and said, "Rest in peace, poor banjo player, and may we someday meet up in the afterlife. You'll be meeting up with him very soon if you can't help me find my true love within a month," Big Bad Wolf said with a grin, which is the awesome thing about our little deal. If you help me find my true love, then I win. And if you don't manage to help me find my true love, then I also win. If it goes one way, then I win love. And if it goes the other way, then I win food. It's just win, win, winning ahead for me, no matter what. Oh, you'll find your one true love within 1 month, I said confidently. I can assure you of that. And the two of us continued walking and searching for the lovely wolf lady of Big Bad Wolf's dreams. After a while, we encountered a hyena who saw the two of us and began laughing hysterically. Ah ha 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 ha. A human and a wolf chillin' together? What a sight! Ah ha 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 ha. "Hey, Chucks," Big Bad Wolf said, "it's good to see that you're in good humor as usual, and there are plenty of examples of humans and wolves teaming up for various reasons throughout history. Not that you're likely to care about that." Ah ha 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 ha. Chucks laughed while rolling around on the floor in merriment. "Now you're a team? How about you pick a new teammate and the two of us gobble up this tasty morsel like nature intended? Ah ha 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 ha." "Ha," Big Bad Wolf said with a smirk. "You know very well that if I was going to gobble food over here up, then I wouldn't be sharing." "That's the truth, ain't it?" Chuck said through more bouts of laughter, and then he merrily padded off to go find other folks to laugh at and or gobble up. As Big Bad Wolf and I continued our search for a lovely wolf lady, I decided that I should probably figure out some way of keeping myself safe from ever ending up in a situation like this again. I mean, after this mission was completed, I would still be in danger from folks like Chuck's. I knew that there was a piggy named Bricks who was good at building brick houses for people that folks like Chuck's and Big Bad Wolf couldn't break into, and if I'd had a sturdy brick house, then I could have just laughed at Big Bad Wolf and wouldn't have had to help him become a master of romance. Yeah, it probably did make sense for me to visit Bricks as soon as my mission was complete, and I was safe from Big Bad Wolf for sure. Suddenly, my thoughts were interrupted by a bat flying up to us and saying, "Hey, Big Bad Wolf, how goes it? And who's your friend?" "Get lost, Ravana," Big Bad Wolf snarled. "I know that you're not just a bat, and you vampires don't scare me." "Sheesh," Ravana said. "You're sure in a rude mood today, aren't you? But I can already tell what's going on here, and I want to help. What's going on here is that vampires aren't welcome to help me out with anything," Big Bad Wolf grumbled. And Ravana said, "Blah, blah, blah. You two dudes don't know the first thing about what a female wants, but I do, because I'm a female." "Who said anything about what a female wants?" Big Bad Wolf said in annoyance, and Ravana said, "When Big Bad Wolf is wearing cologne, sporting snazzy shades, and has a banjo-carrying human keeping him company, it's not very hard to deduce that he's trying to impress and serenade the wolf of his dreams." "Okay, so you figured out something that you're admitting is obvious," Big Bad Wolf said while rolling his eyes. "Now get lost before you end up regretting getting too close to Big Bad Wolf." "Fine," Ravana said with a shrug. "I can leave if you want me to, but don't you think that it's worth it to at least hear me out a bit? I mean, vampires are much more famous for being hopeless romantics than humans or wolves are, and that's just a fact." "Huh," I said. "You know, maybe it wouldn't hurt to hear her out a bit, seeing as vampires are known for being quite the charmers, and if we don't like her advice, then we can just ignore it." "Fine," Big Bad Wolf said with a groan, "but I still think that listening to whatever Ravana wants to say is just gonna be a big waste of time, and I will be saying 'I told you so' once it becomes obvious to both of us that she's not going to help me find the lovely wolf lady of my dreams. Humph." Chapter 4, Dreams. "Very good," Ravana said in satisfaction. "Now, all of the things that you're doing are great and all, but what females tend to want is a hero. You can smell good with the cologne, have great songs to sing, look cool with the shades, and etc., etc., etc. But those things alone will be unlikely to win you the wolf lady of your dreams because she's hoping for the wolf charming of her dreams to come along and save her from a dragon. Ha 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 ha, Big Bad Wolf said. And so it turns out that you are trying to get me killed. I knew it. You think that I could beat a dragon? I mean, I'm a bit narcissistic, but I'm not that full of myself. Ha 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 ha. Well, of course you couldn't do it right this moment, Ravana said while doing a facepalm, which is why we will first have to obtain the enchanted water gun. Wait, I said in confusion. So you're saying that there's actually a dragon who has captured a lovely lady wolf? Because this only works if a dragon actually did that, you know? Oh, it happened all right, Ravana declared, and I know exactly where the dragon and lovely wolf lady are, and I can assure you that if Big Bad Wolf can rescue the fair wolf damsel from the powerful dragon, then it's very likely that she'll fall in love with him, and the two of them will live happily ever after. So, where's the water gun? Big Bad Wolf said. And are you sure that a measly water gun will actually enable me to defeat a dragon? A measly water gun would not, Ravana explained, but the enchanted water gun will indeed. So what's the difference between a normal water gun and the enchanted water gun? I asked. Like, does the enchanted water gun turn to ice when it hits dragons and freeze them in place or something? Somebody's too smart for their own good, Ravana exclaimed. And yes, that's exactly what it does. The dragon will freeze in place when the water hits the dragon, and it'll take an hour or so for the dragon to unfreeze again. So, why not call it a freeze gun instead of a water gun? Big Bad Wolf asked. I mean, a freeze gun sounds way more intimidating than an enchanted water gun. I didn't name the gun, and so I don't know why it received that name, Ravana said with a shrug. And I said, and who exactly did name it? And how are we going to obtain the enchanted water gun? Will we have to steal it? Oh, the enchanted water gun was created by a witch named Zelly, Ravana explained, though it was named by a wizard named Whoosh. And we shouldn't have to steal it from them. I think that if we can convince them that our cause is just, then they will just let Big Bad Wolf borrow it. Your cause is just, right? Seems pretty just to me, Big Bad Wolf said with a shrug. I mean, I am seeking to find true love. Food here is seeking to not live up to his name. And you, well, you're seeking to forge peace between wolves and vampires? And so that means that this mission is about love, life, and peace. If that's not a just enough cause for Whoosh and Zelly, then I have no clue what would be. Very good, Ravana said triumphantly. Love, life, and peace are indeed three of the most important things that there are, and so Zelly and Whoosh should be pretty easy to convince, I think. And so, how do we find them? I asked. I mean, are they near here right now? Well, Ravana said uncertainly, I know where they were last week, but they often travel around a lot, and so they may not be there anymore. But if we go to where they were a week ago, then we'll probably at least be able to figure out the next place that they went to was. Sounds reasonable enough, Big Bad Wolf said, though, for the record, I still don't really trust you since you're a vampire and all. Luckily, this mission isn't about trust, Ravana said cheerfully. It's about love, life, and peace. And so just follow me and we'll get to where Whoosh and Zelly were a week ago in a jiffy. And so Big Bad Wolf and I began following Ravana in hopes that she would lead us to Zelly and Whoosh so that we could obtain the enchanted water gun, freeze the dragon, and save the lovely wolf lady of Big Bad Wolf's dreams.